Gamakatsu SC15 number 1 and our monocord thread, the number 004, the finest stuff you can get. You'll break it, it's not the end of the world. And we will start off right back to about where the hook starts to bend down. And we're going to take some of this. This is the EP silky fiber in the red. And what I'm going to do is a little trick to keep you from tying around the hook point too much is I'm going to do 2 loose wraps right over the top. I'm going to grab it on either side and I'm just going to spin it to the bottom. Now I'm not trying to pass it around the bottom. Then I'll pinch them together right here and I will lock them in place. Just like so. Give it a twist, make sure it's straight, and bring the thread right back up. Now we're going to take this red, I'm going to cut it on about the same angle as my vise here. Like so. There's a gill. It doesn't look like it yet, but it will. I'm going to take a little bit of our EP sparkle. You know, not too much, but not too little. I'm going to shoot this right off the back over the top of that gill plate. This fly I'm going to do in the Baitfish Olive 3D blend with a white belly. I don't use white bellies all that often. Lots of times I'll do grays or sands, but this one translates really well to the video. So I have 4 sections. It's 2 full hanks that I've cut into halves of the white and the Baitfish Olive 3D. And what we're going to do is just be sure to every step. I'm going to taper these. Taper one side, it automatically tapers the other. Just kind of makes it flow a little bit better. This guy, I'm going to tie them in on the middle. And then I'm going to pull them on an angle downwards. I'm tying on top of the hook and I'm angling them downwards over that gill we just tied in. Just like that. So now you can start seeing how we're hiding the gill a little bit, making that not too bright. I'm going to take my next hank. All the hanks, they're about the same thickness. Can't be perfect. You don't need to count them out or anything. Of that EP3D, I'm going to taper it. This guy, I'm going to tie right on top there. Just a couple wraps, and I'm going to fold it straight back. We're going to go straight back with this one. And we'll lock that one into place. And we'll just hit that spot with a little bit of our glue. Good. We're going to do the exact same step with the white. I'm going to taper it and kind of follow that same angle down. Now this time with the olive, we're not going to go straight back, we're going to make it kind of a V, kind of like this. So I'm going to tie it in the middle, just like so. I'm going to pull it back into a V, so kind of on either side of the hook. Just like this. And what that's doing is giving this bait fish that nice round profile. Instead of being a blade, it's going to give some mass to it. Okay. And before I hit this with glue, I'm going to add a little bit more flash. This EP sparkle is very nice because it's kind of all over the place. It's not a direct line like using a piece of crystal flash. It kind of tangles itself into this material really well. And I try and tie it on there kind of messy, so it is kind of all over the place. Okay. Let's put some glue. When I'm using the monocord thread I glue a lot more, just because I don't want it breaking off. Now, this next step we're going to do the olive and the white at about the same time. So what I'm going to do is tie in the olive with about halfway, half of it back, half of it forward, right on top of the hook. Turn her over, and once again I am tapering these. Tapered. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the white. The titanium quiet. Okay. Bring her back down. I like to get this out of my way, spread it on either side of the hook here. I'm going to fold these both straight back. And lock them off. Try this. And what that's doing is just kind of covering up that gap underneath. We're hiding the hook shank and the hook really well with this fly. Last step of the tying with the fibers. So once again, going to be the white's going to come down on either side on the angle that we've been doing, and the olive or this 3D is going to come off in that V. So oops. And there are the fibers, and notice I got a little bit of hook shank up here. That's perfect. I'm going to throw in a quick finish because I will probably break my thread when I'm tying the weed guard. And weed guard wise, I've pre-cut and crimped my 20-pound Mason hard mono, and we'll tie in the weed guard real quick on either side of the shank, about 5 loose wraps, and I pull it down and just kind of go to town on it. Now we'll try and make it not point back quite so far. Bend it forward a little bit and just start tying right behind it. You'll see it pulls them right forward. They're nice and in line with each other. A real easy way to tie those on. Now, and I will always, pretty much always do a couple sets of whip finishing with the mono. And it's round on round. Okay, we'll hit this whole little segment with a little bit of our glue. And we'll do our weed guard. Okay, now, as soon as I trim it. One big mistake that people do with these fibers is they'll pet it all back and start trimming it from there. We don't want to do that because actually when these fibers get in the water, they open up. They spread out a lot. So when I start trimming these bait fish, I brush them out. I try and make them look nice and full like that. It looks nothing like a fish, but we'll make it. I'm going to use some nice long scissors so I don't have to make a billion little cuts. Now it's starting to come together. Once again, I'm spreading this all out really nice here. We're trying to make one cut here. Now we just start rounding them off. I like to look at them head on, and you can see there's some angles up there. I want to make them nice and round. Now, I'm going to put some eyes on them. It's a trick that I did learn from Enrico. It's very neat. Just cauterize that a little bit. You can melt out some of those fibers. And you can glue your eye almost directly to the hook shank instead of just trying to stick it to those fibers. All I just made. Same with the next one. Jam them in there. Now you'll notice that it spread them out again when I put those eyes on. You push them in there, it kind of splays everything out. That's a good thing because now we're going to take it kind of to its final shape. There is our little unassuming baitfish who is swimming in and out of the mangroves